Hi everyone, welcome to D&E's Edu Corner and welcome to our tutorial about solving quadratic inequalities. Ang quadratic inequalities ay maaaring magkaroon ng infinitely many solutions, one solution, or no solution. At ang solution set ng isang quadratic inequality ay ang values na magsasatisfy doon sa ating given. Let's have an example. Are 5, 0, and negative 1 solutions to x squared plus 5x minus 14 is less than or equal to 0? Ang gagawin natin sa ating given ay isa-substitute muna natin isa-isa yung mga values natin dito sa ating given quadratic inequality. At kung ano man yung makakapag-result into true inequality, yun ang solution ng ating given. Let's use substitution. Okay, first, gamitin muna natin yung positive 5. Ipalit natin sa mga variable na x. So, magiging 5 squared plus the product of 5 and 5 minus 14 is less than or equal to 0. Simplify natin yung nasa left side. So, we have 5 squared, that's 25. And then 5 times 5, that's 25. Minus 14 is less than or equal to 0. Simplify 25 plus 25 minus 14. The result is 36. 36 is less than or equal to 0, which is false. Okay? So, hindi true inequality yung naging result gamit yung positive 5. Now, let's check 0. Ipalit natin sa variables na x. So, we have 0 squared plus the product of 5 and 0 minus 14 is less than or equal to 0. Simplify natin yung nasa left side. So, this will become 0 squared plus 0 minus 14, okay, is less than or equal to 0. Negative 14 is less than or equal to 0, which is true. Mas maliit ang negative 14 kesa sa 0. Next, let's use negative 1. Palit natin sa variable na x. So, we have negative 1 squared plus the product of 5 and negative 1 minus 14 is less than or equal to 0. Simplify natin yung nasa left side. We have 1 minus 5 minus 14 is less than or equal to 0. And 1 minus 5 minus 14 that is equal to negative 18. Negative 18 is less than or equal to 0. Is it true or false? Answer is true. So, this is a true inequality, meaning yung nagbigay ng result na true inequality, which are 0 and negative 1, those are the solutions dito sa ating given quadratic inequality. While yung 5, siya ay hindi solution ng ating given quadratic inequality. Now, let's proceed to the steps in solving a quadratic inequality. First, we have to rewrite the given inequality as an equality. Okay, meaning yung inequality symbol, papalitan muna natin ng equal sign. Next, i-express natin yung ating nakuhang equation into standard form or gawin nating 0 yung isang side ng ating given. Ang third step natin is to solve for the roots. We may use any method, just like factoring, quadratic formula, and so on. Okay? So, ang makukuha nating values ng x ay tatawagin nating critical points. Ang susunod na step is to use the roots para ma-determine natin yung intervals. And then, we have to find the intervals that will satisfy the inequality using test points. And i-shade natin yung appropriate x values depending on the original inequality. So, those are the steps in solving a quadratic inequality. Yan ang gagamitin natin later sa ating mga examples. Ang solution set ng isang quadratic inequality ay maaari nating i-illustrate gamit ang number line or ang tinatawag nating real number line. Bakit real number line? Dahil ang mga numbers na nasa number line na ito ay mga real numbers. So dito, hindi lang 1, 2, 3, and so on. Pwede rin 1.2, 1.1, maaaring fraction, at iba pang mga numbers basta ang mga ito ay real numbers. Let's have our first example. Our first example is x squared minus 6x plus 8 is less than 0. So, kagaya ng sa steps na binanggit kanina, yung ating given inequality ay gagawin muna nating equal sign. So, ito yung katumbas niya sa equation, x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Sa pagsasolve ng naging quadratic equation, maaari tayong gumamit ng iba't ibang methods. But in this example, let us use factoring. Mag-isip tayo ng factors ng 8 kung saan kapag pinag-add ito, ang magiging sagot ay negative 6. What are those numbers? I-ready lang natin yung factors na paglalagyan. Okay, so those numbers are negative 4 and negative 2. Negative 4 times negative 2, that's positive 8. And then negative 4 plus negative 2, that is negative 6. Okay, so ilagay na natin yung ating mga numbers na nakuha dito sa ating factors. So ito na ang factored form ng ating given quadratic equation. We have quantity x minus 4 times quantity x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, let's use the zero product property para makuha natin yung value ng x. Unahin natin si x minus 4. We have x minus 4 is equal to 0. Add both sides by 4 para maging x na lamang may iwan sa left side. So, ito ay magiging 0 na. X na lamang may iwan. Sa kabilang side naman, 0 plus 4, we have 4. Okay, next we have x minus 2. That will become x minus 2 is equal to 0. Let's add positive 2 both sides of the equation para x na lamang maiwan dito sa left side. So that's addition property of equality. Okay, so x is equal to positive 2. So itong mga nakuha nating values, hindi pa yan yung solution mismo ng ating quadratic inequality. Okay, remember, ipinalit lang natin pansamantala yung equal sign sa ating quadratic inequality para makakuha tayo ng values ng x at ang tawag dito sa mga values na ito ay yung mga critical points. Okay? Pwedeng critical values or critical points. So that's 4 and 2. Okay, so here's the continuation. Ito yung ating original inequality. At ang nakuha nating critical points ay 4 and 2. Okay? So here's our real number line. Ang critical points natin na nakuha ay ilolocate natin dito sa ating real number line. Gagamit tayo ng tinatawag nating hollow circle or shaded circle. Okay, magkaiba yan. Kapag ang symbol na ginamit sa ating original inequality ay less than o kaya naman greater than, ang ginagamit na circle ay hollow. Okay? Pero kung ang given natin ay may or equal to, okay, or may yung may guhit sa ilalim, we have less than or equal to o kaya greater than or equal to, ang ginagamit naman natin ay shaded circle. So, dito sa ating given, anong circle ang ating gagamitin para ma-locate ang critical points sa number line? Yes, we are going to use hollow circle. So, i-locate na natin yung 4 and 2 sa ating real number line. So, eto sila. Okay, yung 2 natin and we have 4. Bukod sa gumamit tayo ng hollow circle kasi ang ating symbol ay less than, ang ibig sabihin rin ng hollow circle ay hindi kasama sa solution set ng ating given inequality ang 2 at ang 4. I-test natin, okay, kung totoo nga ba na hindi kasama sa solution set si 2 at saka si 4. Unahin natin yung 4, ipalit natin dito sa ating original inequality. Papalitan natin yung x ng 4. So, magiging 4 squared minus the product of 6 and 4 plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify natin. 4 squared, that is 16. And then, negative 6 times 4, that's negative 24, plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify. 16 minus 24 plus 8, answer is 0. 0 is less than 0. Is that true or false? Obviously, that is false. Next, let's have positive 2. Ipalit natin sa ating original inequality. Yung mga variable na x, pinalitan ng 2. So, eto na. Magiging 2 squared, we have 4. And then, negative 6 times 2, we have negative 12. Plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify. 4 minus 12 plus 8, that is equal to 0 also. And 0 is not less than 0. So, this is false. And since false ang ating nakuha, yung 2 at saka yung 4, hindi nga sila solution ng ating given quadratic inequality. So, pinakita lang natin kung talaga bang solution sila or hindi. Pero kapag kayo na yung magsasolve, pwede namang hindi nyo nagawin, okay, yung pagtetest sa ating critical points. So again, alam na natin na ang gagamitin ay ang ating hollow circle dahil ang 2 and 4 ay hindi kasala sa ating solution set. Kung makikita natin dito, magkakaroon tayo ng tatlong regions sa ating real number line. Ano? Ang unang region ay yung mga numbers na less than 2, papunta dito sa mga negative numbers going to infinity. Yung arrow na yan, that means tuloy-tuloy. So that's infinite. Okay? Ang susunod na region natin, yung pangalawang region natin, is yung nasa pagitan ng 2 and 4. So, ito yung mga real numbers na nasa pagitan ng 2 and 4. Hindi kasama si 2 at saka si 4 mismo. And then, next naman is yung mga positive numbers na mas mataas kay 4. Hindi kasama yung 4. So, those are the 3 regions na nabuo gamit yung ating critical points. Noong next natin gagawin is kumuha tayo ng tinatawag nating test points para malaman natin nasaan ba dyan sa tatlong region na yan yung solution set ng ating given quadratic inequality. So dito, kukuha lamang tayo ng isang point lamang sa mga real numbers na mas mababa sa 2. So, pwedeng kunin natin yung 1.5, pwedeng 1, pwedeng 0.5, pwedeng 0, okay, negative 1, and so on. Ang kunin na natin is yung 0 dito sa first region. Sa second region, kunin na natin yung positive 3. So, pwede din naman kayo kumuha ng 2.5, 3.5, and so on, okay? Pero 3 yung gagamitin natin for the second region. And dito sa ating third region, kunin natin yung real number na 5. So, mayroon na tayong representative na point bawat region. Okay? Sa unang region, we have 0. Sa pangalawa, we have 3. At sa pangatlo, we have 5. So, kung alin man dito sa ating mga test points ang mag-result into true inequality, ibig sabihin, kasali sa solution set yung mga real numbers na nasa region na yon. Let's have 0. Palit muna natin dito sa variable na x. So, we have 0 squared, that's 0. And then 6 times 0, we have 0. Kopyahin natin yung minus sign. Plus 8 is less than 0. Okay, 8 na lamang may iwan dito sa left side. So, 8 is less than 0. And that is false. Okay, so false para dito sa ating unang region. Next, itest natin yung positive 3. Okay, palit natin sa x. We have 3 squared minus the product of 6 and 3 plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify natin ito. We have 3 squared. Magkakaroon tayo ng 9. Then 6 times 3, that is 18. And then times the negative sign here. So we have negative 18. Plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify. 9 minus 18 plus 8. Ang magiging result is negative 1. Is less than 0. Negative 1 is less than 0. That is true. Next, itest natin yung positive 5. We have 5 squared minus the product of 6 and 5 plus 8 is less than 0. Simplify. 5 squared, we have 25. And then, negative 6 times 5, we have negative 30 plus 8 is less than 0. So, 25 minus 30, we have negative 5 plus 8. Answer is positive 3 is less than 0. That is false. So, notice na ang true inequality ay lumabas dito sa nasa gitnang region. Ibig sabihin nan, the solution set of our given inequality ay nandito sa pagitan ng 2 and 4. Hindi kasali si 2 and 4 mismo. So, i-shade natin yan. Paano natin ngayon isusulat yung ating naging solution set? Again, ang ating solution set ay real numbers na greater than 2 and less than positive 4. So, kung gagamit tayo ng interval notation, okay, ayan, interval notation, mayroon tayong ginagamit na parentheses o kaya bracket. Parentheses para sa mga hindi kasali sa solution set and bracket para sa kasali sa solution set. Pero, meron tayong exemption. Kapag infinity, yung kasali sa solution set, parentheses ang ating ginagamit. So, balik tayo dito. Ang 2 ay hindi kasama sa solution set. Okay, sulat natin yung ating solution set gamit ang interval notation. Parentheses, again, ibig sabihin hindi kasali ang 2 sa ating solution set. So, parentheses, yung unang critical point na 2. Okay, going to, ano yung pangalawang critical point natin? 4. Okay? And then, parenthesis din kasi hindi din kasali si 4 sa ating solution set. Now, isa pang way ng pagsulat ng ating solution set ay using set notation. So, gamit ang set notation, ito yung ating magiging solution set. So, we have the set of all real numbers x such that x is greater than 2 and less than 4. So, that's it for our first example. Our second example is x squared minus 2x is greater than or equal to 8. Itong greater than or equal to ng symbol natin, palitan muna natin ng equal sign para ma-solve natin yung critical points. Nagawin natin 0 itong nasa right side ng equation, mag-add tayo both sides ng negative 8. Okay, so 8 minus 8, that will become 0. And yung nasa left side ng ating equation, magiging x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Kasi nga gumamit tayo ng addition property of equality. So again, isa-solve natin ang ating naging quadratic inequality in standard form using any method. Let's use factoring. Mag-isip tayo ng factors ng negative 8 na kapag pinag-add, ang magiging sagot ay negative 2. Yun ang ilalagay natin dito sa ating factored form. What are those numbers? We have negative 4 and positive 2. Negative 4 times 2, we have negative 8, and then negative 4 plus 2, we have negative 2. So, ilagay na natin ang mga numbers na yan dito sa ating factored form. Okay, so ang naging factored form natin ay quantity x minus 4 times quantity x plus 2 is equal to 0. And then, let's use the zero product property. Magiging x minus 4 is equal to 0 muna. Add both sides by positive 4. X will become 4. Next, kunin natin yung x plus 2. X plus 2 is equal to 0. X lamang may iwan dapat dito sa left side. So, mag-add tayo both sides ng negative 2. And then, x na lamang may iwan because 2 minus 2, that is 0. Sa kabilang side, 0 minus 2, we have negative 2. Ang nakuha nating values ng x ay 4 and negative 2. That means ang critical points natin ay 4 and negative 2. Balik na tayo sa ating original inequality kasi nakuha na natin yung critical points natin. Gagamit ulit tayo ng ating real number line to illustrate our solution set. So, pero bago yon, ano muna yung circle na gagamitin natin sa pagpa-plot dito sa ating real number line? Since we have here greater than or equal to, ano ang gagamitin natin? Ang gagamitin natin ay shaded circle. Okay, so ilocate natin si 4 and negative 2. So, si negative 2 and si positive 4. That means si 4 and negative 2 ay kasali sa ating solution set. Ipalit muna natin si negative 2 sa ating original inequality para lang makita natin talaga bang kasama sa solution set or hindi. Dapat maging true ang inequality na lalabas. Okay, so we have negative 2 squared, that is 4, and then negative 2 times negative 2, we have positive 4, is greater than or equal to positive 8. 4 plus 4, we have 8, is greater than or equal to positive 8. Okay, so tandaan, meron tayo sa ilalim na or equal to. That means this is a true inequality. Kasama si negative 2 sa ating solution set. Next, i-check naman natin si positive 4. Ipalit natin sa original inequality. So, yung x papalitan ng 4. We have 4 squared minus the product of 2 and 4 is greater than or equal to 8. Simplify natin. 4 squared, that is 16. Negative 2 times 4, that's negative 8, is greater than or equal to 8. 16 minus 8, we have positive 8 is greater than or equal to 8. This is true also. Ano? Kagaya lang nung kanina. Therefore, si 4 ay kasali din sa ating solution set. Alright. Na-check na natin yung ating mga critical points mismo kung talaga bang kasama sa ating solution set or hindi. Pero again, ang pwede nyong palatandaan is yung symbol natin. Pagka may or equal to, shaded na circle ang gagamitin. Ibig sabihin, kasali sa ating solution set yung ating critical points. Okay, next. Magkakaroon tayo dito ng tatlong region. Okay, so we have this region 1, region 2, and then region 3. I-test muna natin, gumamit tayo ng test point kung saan tayo magkakaroon ng true inequality. Ano, sa first region ba, second region, third region? Pili tayo ng isang point sa first, sa second, at saka sa third region. Sa first region, ang test point natin ay negative 4. Next, dito sa ating second region, yung nasa gitna, ang piliin na lang natin ay yung positive 1. And nasa third region, pili tayo ng isang point. Let's use positive 7. Let's use negative 4 muna. Ipalit natin dito sa ating mga variables. Magiging quantity negative 4 squared minus the product of 2 and negative 4 is greater than or equal to 8. Simplify natin, negative 4 squared, we have positive 16. And then negative 2 times negative 4, that's positive 8, is greater than or equal to 8. I-add natin, 16 plus 8. Answer is 24. 24 is greater than or equal to 8. That is true. Okay, mas malaki si 24 kaysa kay 8. Okay, next. Sa second region naman. So we have 1 squared minus the product of 2 and 1 is greater than or equal to 8. Simplify, we have 1 squared 1. Negative 2 times 1, we have negative 2 is greater than or equal to 8. 1 minus 2, answer is negative 1. And that is not greater than or equal to 8. Ibig sabihin, hindi kasama ang mga real numbers na nasa gitnang region sa ating solution set. Next naman, sa third region natin, ang kinuha natin ay 7. So, i-check natin. We have 7 squared minus the product of 2 and 7 is greater than or equal to 8. Simplify natin. 7 squared, we have 49. And the negative 2 times 7, we have negative 14 is greater than or equal to 8. Subtract 49 minus 14. Answer is 35. 35 is greater than or equal to 8. Okay, so that is true. True din ang lumabas. That means kasama din ito sa ating solution set. I-shade na natin ngayon yung mga nagkaroon ng true inequality. So, ibig sabihin, kasali sa solution set natin yung numbers that are less than or equal to negative 2. Or equal to kasi kasali si negative 2 sa ating solution set. Okay, samantala dito sa kabilang side naman, kasali sa solution set yung real numbers that are greater than or equal to 4. So, paano natin isusulat ang ating solution set gamit ang interval notation? Kasama sa solution set natin yung negative infinity. Negative infinity kasi nga tuloy-tuloy yung ating mga negative numbers, less than negative 2. Gumamit tayo dito ng parentheses kasi nga sa infinity ang ginagamit lamang natin ay yung parentheses. Negative infinity to negative 2 and then bracket ang gagamitin kasi kasali ang negative 2 sa ating solution set. Isa pang solution set natin is itong nasa third region, no? Umpisahan natin sa mas maliit na value. Si 4, yung critical point natin, kasali sa solution set, kaya bracket ang ating ginamit. Going to positive infinity. Tuloy-tuloy yan, okay? Positive infinity and then parentheses. Gumamit tayo dito ng symbol ng union since we have two regions na kasama sa ating solution set. That's it for our tutorial about solving quadratic inequalities. Thank you so much for watching and we hope that you subscribe to our channel for more tutorials.